Hello, my name is Rebecca Sanchez, and I help unrobotize humans. What does that even mean? Well, think about what robots do. As we program them and we tell them, hey, we need you to do this task. We need you to do this task in this way. I don't need you to think, I just need you to do. And that can be good for some things that we need to get done in organizations. However, the number one thing that I hear from leaders is, how do I get my people to bring creative, innovative ideas to the table? I can't be the one that does that completely by myself. Well, when we start to explain the why are we doing this? And we get really clear on what we need that person to do in our organization, that team to do. What's the vision about what we're trying to create? When we share that with them versus, I need you to do this step, then this step, then this step, then this step, that's when we start to turn our humans into robots. So I often get asked, well, what industry are you in? And when I say I'm in organizational effectiveness, I swear I see eyes glaze over. And I go, pause for a second and think about those two words: organizations, businesses, companies, groups, teams, communities, organizations, and effectiveness. And then when you break down that word effectiveness, and I often ask, I'm like, what does effectiveness mean to you? Or what do you think about when I'm in classes and we're meeting for the first time? Because it's oftentimes the first time that they ever hear that word. I'm like, how well do you achieve your goals? So as an organization, how well are you achieving your goals? With the people that you have, with the tools that you have, with the systems that you've built? And so I come in, and not to add more layers into this or make it more complex, but to make it more human. We are more effective when we work together. And we are more effective when we understand, what are we doing? What's the vision of what we're trying to do? Why are we trying to do this in the first place? And then get excited about the creative ideas that you can do to achieve that, to get there, to get to that goal, to get to that impact. So that's where I come in. And I help bring that energy, that human energy, back into the workspace. We're communicators, we are connectors, we are idea generators, and we need a space that we can do that. I've had a lot of adversity that happened in my personal world while I was trying to build a business, be a great employee. That's just not here. That's with every individual that you have in your organization. So I got really attached to change management, which is all around, how do you get your people to change a behavior, to do something new? And that can be really hard when there's a lot of new coming at you, which today, more than ever, is our shared reality. I want to be known as the queen of breaking things down into small, manageable chunks. I say it that way. I've been saying it that way for decades. And in reality, that's what I get the honor of doing, is going into organizations and they have these amazing ideas, these amazing initiatives, this impact that they want to give into the world. And they're like, that's exciting, that's also extremely overwhelming. Or they have that idea, they're cascading it to their people, and some of the people down the line are like, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. So in breaking big, large, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes scary things into smaller chunks so we don't put ourselves into freeze mode, because man, I know I've been there where it's like so overwhelming that you're like, I don't even know where to start. And when we use these best practices in project management, change management, team dynamics, how we operate as humans, and we get really clear on what we're doing and why we're doing it, that's the start of breaking it into smaller chunks to actually get it done. I like to get stuff done. I like to get stuff done and not be super stressed out about it. There's enough stress in the world. The lens of resilience, one's ability to bounce back after a difficult situation. I know we feel that in organizations. I've felt it as an employee of an organization, as a leader of an organization, and even in my own life, my personal life. And I have learned to not let those life challenges, those work challenges, those changes in timing or scope or deliverables or whatever we're trying to do, just put me into stop mode. or put me into slow down mode. When I get asked who do I work with, I work with CEOs and founders of organizations, helping them get clear about what are we trying to do? Where are we trying to go? How is this going to make an impact? And then translate that. So then I work with their employees and their leaders to translate that into actually getting the work done through the systems and the tools that we build to help them get that work done. It's a whole ecosystem, from the leaders all the way down to the doers. I giggled at myself because I like this statement a lot. If you know me, you've heard me say it before, that people are people are people. And the way we operate, the way that we work together, it's not role specific. It's that we're human. So coming back to this idea that we are not robots and that we are humans, and that will never change. I'm Rebecca Sanchez, and I help organizations build clarity, accountability, and resilience.